The year is 2024. Israel, the Jewish state, approaches its 76th birthday. A nation that has seen its fair share of triumphs and tribulations, Israel stands resilient yet reflective as it nears this significant milestone. Yet, a shadow hangs over the celebration, the eighth decade curse. This ominous theory has sparked debates and discussions across the nation. This unsettling theory suggests that Jewish states throughout history rarely survive beyond 80 years. It's a notion that has roots deep in the annals of history, tracing back to the ancient kingdoms of Israel and Judea. The ancient kingdoms of Israel and Judea crumbled after centuries, only to be followed by fleeting periods of independence. These historical collapses have left an indelible mark on the collective memory of the Jewish people. Is this pattern merely a historical coincidence? Scholars and historians have long pondered this question, delving into ancient texts and manuscripts to uncover the truth. Or does it reveal a deeper vulnerability inherent in the Jewish story? A vulnerability that, despite the passage of time, continues to resonate in the modern era. Some dismiss the curse as superstition, a dangerous myth fueling unnecessary anxiety. They argue that such beliefs only serve to undermine the progress and achievements of the modern state. Others see it as a stark warning, a call to action to address the existential challenges facing Israel today. They believe that acknowledging the curse is the first step towards ensuring the nation's survival. The truth likely lies somewhere in between. It is a delicate balance between acknowledging historical patterns and forging a path forward with confidence and determination. Ignoring history's lessons is folly, but so is succumbing to fatalism. The key is to learn from the past while not being paralyzed by it. Israel in 2024 stands at a crossroads. The choices made today will shape the future of this resilient nation. Understanding the eighth decade curse, not as prophecy, but as a cautionary tale, is vital for navigating the turbulent waters ahead. It serves as a reminder of the fragility of states and the importance of vigilance, unity, and proactive measures in ensuring a prosperous future for Israel. Israel's remarkable journey has been one of resilience, innovation, and constant struggle. Yet, beneath the surface of this vibrant democracy lies a network of deep societal fissures. Political polarization, religious tensions, and socioeconomic disparities threaten to unravel the delicate fabric of Israeli society from within. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict remains the most visible and painful of these divisions. The ongoing occupation, the expansion of settlements, and the lack of a clear path towards a two-state solution fuel resentment and distrust on both sides. But internal divisions within Israeli society itself are equally worrying. Secular and ultra-Orthodox Jews clash over the role of religion in public life. Ashkenazi Jews, descended from Europe, and Mizrahi Jews, with roots in the Middle East and North Africa, grapple with legacies of discrimination and inequality. These internal divisions weaken Israel's social cohesion, making it more vulnerable to external threats. Israel exists in a volatile neighborhood. From its inception, it has faced relentless hostility from some of its neighbors. While peace treaties with Egypt and Jordan offer a glimmer of hope, the threat from militant groups like Hamas and Hezbollah remains a constant reality. Iran's nuclear ambitions cast a long shadow over the region. The Iranian regime's repeated calls for Israel's destruction, coupled with its support for proxy militias, fuel a climate of fear and uncertainty. Beyond the immediate region, the rise of global anti-Semitism and the boycott, divestment, and sanctions (BDS) movement pose new challenges. These external threats demand constant vigilance and a strong defense. However, they also highlight the urgent need for a sustainable peace in the region. A future where Israel's existence is no longer threatened requires a fundamental shift in the regional power dynamics and a commitment to dialogue and reconciliation. The Jewish people carry a heavy historical burden. This burden is not just a relic of the past, but a living, breathing part of their identity that influences every aspect of their lives. The Holocaust, the defining tragedy of the 20th century, casts a long shadow over the Jewish psyche. The sheer scale of the atrocity, with 6 million Jews systematically exterminated, is a wound that is never fully healed. It is a scar that is passed down through generations, a constant reminder of the depths of human cruelty. This collective trauma, coupled with centuries of persecution and displacement, profoundly shapes Israel's worldview and policies. The Jewish people have faced expulsions, pogroms, and systemic discrimination long before the Holocaust. Each of these events has contributed to a collective memory of suffering and resilience, influencing the nation's approach to security and diplomacy. The memory of the Holocaust serves as a constant reminder of the potential for human cruelty and the importance of Jewish self-reliance. It is a call to never forget and to ensure that such horrors are never repeated. This memory is enshrined in the national consciousness through education, memorials, and the stories of survivors who bear witness to the past. It fuels a deep-seated fear of annihilation, a sense that Israel is constantly fighting for its survival. This existential fear is not unfounded, given the historical context and the ongoing threats that the nation faces. It manifests in a society that is always on alert, where military service is a rite of passage and preparedness is a way of life. This fear, while understandable, can also lead to a siege mentality, a tendency to prioritize security concerns over diplomacy and compromise. The emphasis on security can sometimes overshadow efforts to build bridges and seek peaceful resolutions. It creates a paradox where the quest for safety can inadvertently perpetuate a cycle of conflict and mistrust. Understanding the psychological impact of historical trauma is crucial for understanding Israel's actions on the world stage. The trauma is not just a historical fact, but a living influence that shapes policies and attitudes. It affects how the nation perceives threats and opportunities, and how it interacts with both allies and adversaries. It explains the country's unwavering commitment to its military strength and its often hawkish stance in international affairs. The emphasis on a strong defense is seen as essential to prevent another catastrophe. This stance is reflected in the nation's substantial investment in its military capabilities and its readiness to act decisively in the face of perceived threats. Breaking the cycle of trauma and fear is essential for Israel to achieve lasting peace and security. It requires a conscious effort to address the underlying fears and to foster a culture of understanding and reconciliation. Peace is not just the absence of conflict, but the presence of trust and cooperation. By acknowledging and addressing the deep-seated traumas, there is hope for a future where security is achieved through peace rather than perpetual vigilance. The Eighth Decade Curse elicits a wide range of responses within Israeli society and beyond. This concept, which suggests that Israel faces existential threats every 80 years, has sparked intense debate and reflection among various segments of the population. Some view it as a self-fulfilling prophecy, a dangerous idea that undermines national morale and could even contribute to Israel's demise. They argue that by believing in the curse, people might inadvertently bring about the very outcomes they fear. Others see it as a wake-up call, a reminder of the need for urgent action to address existential threats. For them, the curse is not a prophecy, but a call to vigilance and preparedness, urging society to take proactive steps to secure its future. Religious perspectives on the curse vary widely. Within the religious community, there are those who interpret the curse through the lens of divine will and prophecy. Some believe that Israel's fate ultimately rests in God's hands, viewing the curse as a test of faith and divine intervention. They see prayer and adherence to religious practices as the key to overcoming any potential threats, while others emphasize the importance of human agency and the need to follow Jewish law to ensure the nation's survival. They argue that human actions, guided by religious principles, play a crucial role in shaping Israel's destiny. Historians offer different interpretations, some highlighting cyclical patterns in Jewish history, pointing to past events that seem to follow a similar 80-year cycle. They suggest that understanding these patterns can provide valuable insights into current challenges, while others emphasize the unique circumstances of modern Israel. They argue that today's geopolitical, social, and technological contexts are unprecedented, making historical comparisons less relevant. Psychologically, the curse taps into deep-seated anxieties about Jewish vulnerability. The collective memory of past traumas and persecutions can amplify fears about the future. It can fuel a sense of fatalism or, conversely, a determination to defy historical patterns. For some, the curse becomes a motivator to break free from the past and forge a new path forward. Ultimately, the Eighth Decade Curse serves as a Rorschach test, reflecting diverse beliefs and anxieties about Israel's future. It encapsulates the hopes, fears, and debates that define the nation's ongoing journey, highlighting the complex interplay between history, faith, and human agency.